Hi, Darius Soverlingas is back. Today I want to teach you how to make effective decisions. Effective decisions. Why I decided to record this video? Because we all, during this crisis, we all gonna need to make a lot of decisions. And I see a lot of people living in a fearful state, in a horrific state, and a lot of uncertainty, a lot of fear, a lot of indecisiveness. Okay, and by the way, this is very terrible state to be, because in this state people are very highly suggestive to any suggestion, highly receptive to any suggestions. So I decided to make this video to make sure you make your own decisions instead of watching YouTube or watching CNN or watching whatever and making decisions based on fear. This is not a good thing to do. So let's go to this strategy. I call it fist decision or five-finger decision. Okay, unfortunately most people, I ask, they provide me all these terrible statistics, how many people died and how dangerous, and a lot of people already know everything about viruses. And so I studied that. I studied this, and I was the top student in learning this, all diseases, global diseases, whatever. I'm surprised how people well educated are right now. But when I ask the question, how you know that, they say, oh well, internet. Okay, internet. So I can ask 10 people out of 10 how you know about coronavirus, how you know about how many people. They will say internet, and they don't even consider any other option to make decision. All the decisions is being based on internet. So let's explore, is it the only one way to make decisions? Yes, internet. So I guess I put enough fingers. This is my wife, I hired her to be a artist. Okay, so internet is, yes, this is one way to get information, but I put on the smallest, on a pinky. Why? Because the internet, at least I trust the least. I don't know about you, maybe for you it's the main source of information. For me, I use this source of information, but for me it's the least. Another one is secret info, and I will explain what I mean by saying secret info. Info not everybody can access, and intuition, or you can use meditation or universal, but it doesn't matter how you call that. You get the idea, right? And then to get information directly from people, it's not easy to do that with this social distancing rules, right? But we can communicate via internet with each other. Okay, and eventually you will need to decide what to do. So let's get a little bit into every channel of information, because decisions, how we make decisions we make based on information. We get the information, we decide what it means, and we proceed on a decision, right? Even if the information is fake, but we believe it's true, we're gonna make fake decisions. We're gonna make decisions based on fake information. So first of all, you can do a little test when you ask about corona. I ask people, who is in your family sick with a coronavirus? Let's say it's a terrible coronavirus, right? Who is sick? And they say, nobody. So how you know that this terrible pandemic? Internet, right? So very interesting. How come we don't have people in my family, in my friends, nobody is sick with the corona, but on internet is all over the coronavirus, right? So but let's leave this corona thing aside. Let's focus on how we make decisions. So internet, why so many people use internet? Because and I'm gonna name some few advantages and disadvantages. Because the internet is easy to access, it's you can get a lot of information, And like Anthony Robbins said, we have abundance of information and we're starving for wisdom. We have abundance of information. We can access a lot of information right now. We can sit for hours and weeks or months and years on this information, but people are starving for wisdom. Because information doesn't make you smarter, you know, maybe you waste a lot of time doing research with this information, okay? So it's easy to access. This is one of advantage. You can really find very good information. Really can find good information especially if you do research on the source of information, on the source of the person who is providing or institution, whatever. Also, if you use logic, if you think why this source providing this information, why CNN talking a lot of fierce tactics, why CNN is fearing people, why, you know, just think a little bit and it will be easier to make decisions. So fast communication. I just record this video and I'm gonna upload in 5 minutes, in 10 minutes it's gonna be online, and millions of people will be able to see this video if you help me, if you share this video, if you send link, if you do like. The millions of people gonna see this video. Eventually will. If YouTube will not delete this video. So very comfortable. You don't need to go anywhere. Very comfortable. You know, you just take the cell phone and that's it, and you have access to the global information. You can listen the smartest people in the world just on your couch without moving too much. So very comfortable. And cheap, almost for free. You just pay for internet, whatever, 20, 50, 100 bucks, whatever it is your internet. So I can go on and on with the advantages of internet. It's really great tool, but with all great tools, with all great things comes also disadvantages, and disadvantages, you cannot trust and verify source. Whatever is in front of your face, seeing is believing. Whatever you see, you start kind of tend to believe. Okay, so you cannot verify the source. So imagine this: the best guys in Silicon Valley spend 1 year at Silicon Valley. The best guys, 30, 50, 100, 200 people teams get together with one single purpose: to get your attention. And sometimes those intents are not in your favor, or maybe very often is not in your favor, to lock your eyeballs on the internet. So another thing, according to different sources, internet supposed to be when it was created, World Wide Web was created, you know, they thought it's gonna be, you know, poetry and whatever, it's gonna be so intelligent information, but unfortunately it turned out differently. According to different sources, 15 to 30% of information on internet is porno. So it's easy to manipulate this information. The people on the internet can shape your habits and your thinking easy. And I spent 1 year in Silicon Valley, and believe me, I met some really crazy perverts who have really crazy ideas, and they're really the best programmers, the best IT guys in the world. They get together, they try. Hopefully, most of them will not succeed, but they try to. Some of them try to implement very pervert ideas. Okay, so another thing. They can spy on you, and most likely they do. Like you probably hear these conversations, you speak with somebody and then you see the ads or whatever, you know, you do research on a computer and then you see on your cell phone ads, advertisement about this, whatever you did research, or maybe you even spoke with somebody. They do not supposed to listen to you, but maybe they do. How we can verify that, right? The technology is there. The only morals is, the question is morals of those people, they will do that or not, but the ability, the technology is there, so you just can guess, no, they will never do that. Well, why? They're honest people, of course, you know. So there are, you can name much more disadvantages. Families get divorced, children get addicted, whatever. So conclusion, about this advantages and disadvantages of internet is, you know, so just to make sure you don't think that I'm some kind of anti-internet guy, so I have to make disclaimer. I build with the IT, with the best IT guys. I build platforms, I build databases, I build systems myself. You know, I'm in the real estate business, so we build websites, we build MLS of ourselves. And all this knowledge, by the way, which I'm presenting, I use on my real estate people to help my real estate people to succeed. And we were doing very well before this corona virus hit, right? So right now, like, you know, not only real estate, everything stopped. Okay, so I know what is technology. We build platforms, systems, websites ourselves, and despite that, I didn't even allow to touch my son before the age of 3 until you know, he is very highly suggestive. You know, children till the age of 3 are very highly suggestive to whatever they see or hear, whatever. Later they start to analyze a little bit themselves. So we didn't even allow any monitors to see for my child. No TV, no internet, no cell phone, no whatever tablet, nothing before the age of 3. After that, we let him to watch selected videos and whatever. So I know what is IT, I know what is technology, and I work with really great software programmers. We build projects, and despite of that, I don't trust this source too much. So that's why I use this information, but I put this on Pinky. So the second one is secret info. What is secret info? It's much more important than internet info. Secret info, I mean when you can access some information most people cannot access. So this can be really valuable information. You become like an insider when you can give access to special databases not too many people have access. Okay, so whatever, banks information, court information, police information. If you have friends, they will tell you, they will show you, you know, if you somebody, they do not suppose, but they do that, okay, because they care about you and they provide some insider information. So this secret information or insiders info might be very valuable. I just will share you during 2008 crisis. I went in Lithuania, in my country. I went to speak with a court representative, somebody who worked for the court for 25 years. I invited this person to a dinner and I asked, what do you see in your computers? Tell me, what's the trend, you know, what you see? So the person said, Darius, please don't think that I'm crazy, you know. I said, keep saying, you don't look like you're crazy. She said, when I look at my data, what's happening, I see like somebody, like almost like one person taking all the property, all the walls, sucking in one hand, sucking everything. It was in 2008. I said, what's private sector or government, whatever. She said, everything is being sucked. And all that you can trace where all this real estate going to one set of hands. I said, yeah, I don't believe that you're crazy. And I don't believe you're paranoid. That's what I believe what's happening. This is probably what's supposed to happen. Rich get richer, poor get even more poor. But I said, tell me how fast is happening. So how much time I have to prepare to defend my family and so on. So she said, it's happening, Darius, really fast. I don't think you will have enough time to prepare. So secret info. Then I went to the bank, and in the bank the person said, look, Darius, what I see in our computers, you didn't even dream in your worst nightmare. So that information becomes pretty valuable. You can prepare yourself, you know, you can then I went to police databases. I asked them what's happening, what's employment, unemployment. I learned some interesting things, you know, how they're hiding the crime rate, how they, you know, eliminating the crime rate, making sure it's less than, against statistics, right? If you believe statistics, please read this book, How to Lie with Statistics. Okay, so you will see that in real life it's a little bit different, maybe a lot of different than you are being presented on internet or on TV or whatever. So And yeah, advantages is you can get information 99% of the people will not get, will never get probably. You can get you can better prepare for what is coming. You know, during this corona pandemic, if you get good data, you can prepare for this. Some people, just today, somebody, IT guy showed me how how they dumped the stocks before all this corona started. It was huge amounts of stocks were dumped, and right after that, after a couple of weeks, after a month, some of them already dumped the stocks in December. A huge amount of stocks dumped to make sure they sold at the top, and right now, of course, they will be able to buy it back maybe for 10% of the stock price. Okay, so why this information is valuable? Because people are working next to those databases, next to this information 20 or 30 years. You know those people since they are 15 or maybe from childhood or maybe from high school. You know those people, you can trust them, and more or less. And you will not get this information on Facebook, on YouTube, or whatever. This takes a little bit efforts to get, and you can get really valuable information. And I do this, I don't do this on every information. I do this on the most important information, which is health, which is wealth, right? Our financial health, our financial health. This is very important. So I do this deep access to information only on very important thing. And for instance, when it comes to health, okay? Right now, all this virus statistics about health, right? Despite that, I study myself pharmaceuticals. I study myself that. I like to get deep into kitchen, to top doctors of the country, whatever. And what I learned, there is a lot of lie, a lot of fraud, a lot of crime, and we must understand why. Because this society benefits only if people are sick. They don't benefit if people are healthy, right? If the motivation strategy was opposite, probably the health system would be opposite. Okay, situation would be opposite. But it is what it is. So the purpose is very simple: more money, more power, and so on and so on. So disadvantages. What is disadvantages about getting the secret info? Disadvantages is it's very difficult to get. You need to have right connections. You are lucky if somebody is working in your family or whatever. So, but it takes time. You cannot just do sitting on a couch get this information unless you're president or whatever, some important person. But it takes time and money to get this information. You need to bring people to dinner. You need to. They need to trust you, or you need to do some favor for them. You need to be in some kind of business or whatever, marriage relationship, to get this information. But you can get it. If you really committed, you will get. Some of those contacts must be from childhood, from high school, so they can trust you. So those are disadvantages. But this information is much more valuable than this information on internet. On the internet, if you do selective research, yes, you can get information fast, but it can be distorted, it can be manipulated, and so on and so on. This information, you can rely more. And right now, information when it comes to intuition. Intuition, or I also call it universal info. People do meditation, people do yoga, people do things. So subconscious mind, another topic to explore. So advantages is that if you are born with those skills, it gives you very good speed. You can make decisions really fast. If you're not born, you can practice it. Okay. And it is always with you. Wherever you are, in a forest, in an outside, whatever, it's always with you. You don't need internet. You already connected to your universal internet. If you really think what is everything is energy, everything is information. you know, so waves of energy, waves of information traveling around, you know. So if you really dig deep in the quantum physics, you will see that we basically live in an ocean of information. So why we need those tools like internet, whatever, to access information? Maybe we have some skills, maybe we have some ability to read this information, you know, more than we are taught that we can. Okay, so intuition is always with you, and we usually turn to those methods when nothing else works. So maybe we need to switch when we should use this information fast first and then check other information, okay? But somehow we are trained to believe what others say, to what other newspapers, TV, internet, whatever, and only when nothing works, we turn to this deeper knowledge, meditation, and accessing information in using extra senses, using different ways to access information. Use your instincts, trust your instincts, use intuition. I spent 6 months only by training intuition. I probably wasn't born, or maybe I was, you know, we all born with many skills and talent, many talents, but we do not develop it, you know, and they kind of die. Okay, so I spent 6 months just working on how to develop intuition, training my intuition. And disadvantages, you know, on this I see no disadvantages. Probably the only one disadvantage would be sometimes you can get very confused. Is your intuition, or is your fear, or is your emotions, or your desires? So this probably and sometimes it's difficult to trust. What if you make mistake, you know? And another thing, very often this inside feelings, inside intuitive feelings, they contradict what we are taught to do. So maybe this is a good sign, the signal that this is what we need to do. If it contradicts, maybe it's the right way to do, not the wrong way. So this is the challenge, disadvantage. But you need to learn to trust your instincts. So people, so this is the biggest finger, okay? And you can send everybody far away from you. If you really develop this intuition, develop the trust your instincts, you can make decisions fast and decisions will be right. So people, what I mean by saying people around you, your family, your friends, your closest circle of people, those people will see what you probably don't see, okay? And the advantage is that all those people, they want best for you, at least they're supposed to want. And sometimes they see better than you do, and they're not because they're not emotionally attached, and you can trust them. Most part of them you can trust them. If you cannot trust your family members, you're screwed anyway, you know. They might bring insiders. If you don't have personal insiders information or secret information, they can bring to you insiders information because they work somewhere. They might provide you very good information, okay? And so disadvantages, sometimes your family will give advice just to protect you, and this advice will don't stick your nose, don't risk, and so on. And very seldom you will succeed if you don't take risks, okay? Sometimes your family subconsciously will sabotage you if you want to do something big, if you want to proceed on business or whatever opportunity. They will sabotage you because they subconsciously, they will feel that they will lose you, they will lose your attention, and they want to pull you back. So those are disadvantages, especially, like I say, mothers are the killers of man's ambition. Mother will always protect the son, you know, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, and eventually what you have, what kind of man you have? Very weak, very non-risky man who cannot take a risk, who cannot do anything in life because mommy loved his son. If mommy really loved his son, she's supposed to send him to take the biggest risk possible. So that in that way he would build emotional intelligence, he would build a skill to make decisions, to become decisive man. So and uh, you yourself, eventually you can do research on internet, you can get secret knowledge, you can listen to your intuition, you can listen to people, but eventually it's you the one who will be responsible to making this decision. So because it's your life, okay? You have to practice to make decisions. So the advantages is you, by making decisions yourself, you take responsibility. Even if you make mistake, you take the hit, you take responsibility. By practicing it, you will rely more and more on yourself, not on surroundings, not on somebody who will say what to say. You will be more stable. When everybody will be fearful, panicking, you will be stable, you will be pursuing whatever you want to do in life. It doesn't matter if the sky is falling, you will take advantage of the situation. And you will succeed in any environment. Now, when many people are fearful and they visualizing the terrible scenarios, how everything will be bad, you know, maybe the end of the world, maybe everybody will die, maybe, you know, the businesses, small businesses or medium businesses will disappear, only big businesses will stay. Yes, everything is possible. So a lot of people visualizing doomsday scenario, terrible scenarios, and those who are already used to make decisions themselves, think for themselves, they're looking for opportunities. You know, they're looking for opportunities, they're looking how to create something new, how to take advantage. Those people think for themselves, okay? They're calm and they already used to make strong and dangerous and risky decisions, so they don't see much worse something will happen, you know, because they used to it. This is gonna be even more for strong decision making. This time is gonna be exciting because they will test themselves. They will be able to see how strong they are. Okay. Yeah, but you must trust yourself. You must trust yourself when you make strong decision. You must trust yourself. Okay, if you trust internet, you will never make decisions if you trust internet, because you will have all the time, you will have conflicting sources of information. Somebody will say like this, another channel will say like this, and so you have to trust yourself and you have to make decisions yourself. So those are advantages. And if you really think that you come on this planet with a special purpose, you and only you need to be responsible for your decisions, and nobody else will come and save you. You are the only one to do that. So disadvantages of you making decisions. Because you can't do it all yourself, especially on big projects, you need more people. And if you become too confident on your own thinking, on your own decisions, you will not listen to other people, even if they're right, even if they provide you evidence. You think, okay, yeah, I'm the smartest guy, I will figure out myself. So, and you will need to rely on other people's expertise. Sometimes it is difficult to do this for independent thinkers, because, you know, experts make a lot of mistakes, you know, and you are the only one who knows what you want and so on. So it's kind of difficult. So this might work against you. If you only make decisions yourself, you need to build teams, you need to listen to other people. Anyway, what else I wanted to say? Oh, some tips about decision making. Remember, decisions made out of fear will always be wrong. Decisions made out of fear will always be wrong. So don't make decisions in a fearful state. If you have to make some kind of decisions, you feel that you are fearful and about to make some decisions, go for a walk. I know that right now you see we cannot. Oh, somebody's walking right on the ocean, but actually we're not allowed to walk. Okay, so go for a walk. Go take a shower. relax, go sleep, get second opinion. If you are fearful, don't make decision, because most likely it will be bad decision, unless the lion or tiger is chasing you and you are fearful and you run away. Maybe that's good to not to consult somebody when the tiger or lion is chasing you, but it's not a big not a big chance to be chased by lion in today's life, right? And so another thing to remember, all important or difficult decisions must be made on paper. All important or difficult decisions must be made on paper. Why? Because in your head, you will get confused, somebody will interrupt, you will get to another thought. So put it on paper and use effective decision-making system, 5 fingers, or together it's a fist. So you can make strong decision, it's a fist, okay? Bam! Iron decision you can make if you use all those channels and finally make decision yourself. Also remember, it's better mistaking decision, it's better bad decision than no decision. And like Anthony Robbins said, in the moments of decisions, your destiny is shaped. In the moments of decisions, your destiny is shaped. So make great decisions. Make great decisions. So that's it. Stay strong, stay decisive. You know, pressure, we all gonna get a lot of pressure right now, but remember that if you don't let this pressure to break you, if you focus on what you want, you will be 10 times better after this will pass. 10 times better. And believe me, according to my research, you can really be 10 times better. But to become better, like on everything, on muscle, on your brain, on your emotions, pressure must be applied. And I can imagine some of you getting a lot of pressure. Some people have savings, some people not. And business is stopped, everything stopped. So some people need to feed children. So you have a lot of fear, you have a lot of pressure. I understand. I've been in many different situations in life where I was life-threatened, where I slept on a beach. I've been in many bad, terrible situations in my life. And believe me, this one doesn't scare me too much. I'm kind of thinking what's gonna happen, but doesn't scare me much. So God bless you. Talk to you soon.